There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
You're a moron!
Disney seems determined to ruin all of their franchises, okay? They want to take that woke DEI garbage and shoehorn it into their productions, which of course means they're altering traditional content, which turns off a lot of their core audience. And the latest movie to receive this Disney treatment was going to be Snow White. There are plans, of course, to take it into the modern age, so modern audiences can enjoy it to a fuller extent. But of course, this would just result in a complete disaster. As we can see over here, Disney has already changed course 100% because initially they wanted to replace the dwarves with magical companions. But the outcry was so massive that Disney, of course, decided to go back to the dwarves. And here we can see, yes, CGI dwarves, right? Nixing any possibility for little people to go ahead and get those parts in this big movie, okay? And of course, Rachel Zegler herself has been very unlikable, actually making the rounds, bad-mouthing fans, and talking about how the old Disney story is old and antiquated. So what we're going to see, of course, is this whole fiasco being taken apart bit by Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic over on Piers Morgan. Let's get into this. But before we play the clips, please like and comment so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
Well, when Disney executives signed off a big-budget remake of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, they probably thought it was a very safe bet for a company in dire need of a hit. A time-honoured fairy tale beloved by millions, which spans generations, borders and creeds. What could possibly go wrong? Well, it turned out just about everything. Rachel Zegler, who stars as Snow White, condemned Prince Charming as weird and a stalker, adding that she hates the original. Nice start. Leaked photos from a set revealed that the Seven Dwarves had been sensationally axed, replaced by multiracial, gender non-specific, magical humans, after Peter Dinklage said it was backwards to cast real dwarves as dwarves, even though he's made a whole career out of being a real dwarf who's played dwarves in movies and made millions doing it. Disney responded to the growing controversy by delaying the movie for a year and replacing the magical humans with what looked like CGI garden gnomes. They featured prominently in the first trailer, which dropped over the summer. We're here to debate all this and lots more. Two of YouTube's most outspoken and popular commentators, Gary Beekler, who's aka Nerdrotic, and Will Jordan, aka The Critical Drinker. And here in the studio, uncensored contributor Esther Krakow and the occasional comedian James Barr, fresh from what he tells me was a very successful trip to the Edinburgh Festival. Critical Drinker, your YouTube video on the trailer has now been viewed nearly 2.5 million times. And you said the new Dwarfs look is nightmare fuel. Can you explain that for us, please?
Yeah, so what they've obviously tried to do is retain the artistic aesthetic of the cartoon from the 1930s, but transpose it into a live-action movie, and it just looks horrific. It's so out of place. And when you see them dancing next to Rachel Zegler, who's an actual human actor, it just looks awful. They don't match up. They're deep into the uncanny valley. It is the worst possible choice they could have made. It would have been so much... It would be so much easier if they just used actual dwarf actors. I don't know why they haven't done that.
Yeah, this is where political correctness paints itself into a corner every single time. You find yourself with very strange bedfellows in this. And it's not just the actors, it's Disney fans. Disney fans are offended by Rachel Zegler's comments disrespecting the movie that made Disney. And this is why there is 1 million dislikes on this trailer. And it's a culmination of creative bankruptcy. If this movie just existed on its own, it probably wouldn't be that much of a controversy. But if you add a singular Peter Dinklage interview that cost dwarf actors their jobs, and Zegler out there popping off and fanning the flames, along with everything Disney's done over the last 6 years, you have Snow White.
Critical Drinker is absolutely right. This is a huge uncanny valley. The CGI is not up to par. It would have been better to have real live dwarf actors for this real life movie. But of course, the token leftist has to say, have you ever seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit? The whole point was it was Toontown. real people going into the cartoon. Here you're trying to pass off these CGI dwarves as being real, and it just doesn't work. And of course, as Nerdrotic brings up there, this is all a huge fiasco that Disney has brought upon itself. For years now, Disney has been neglecting their fans, turning away all the diehards in the name of wokeness, and people are tired of it, right? This is the straw that has broken the camel's back. This movie is going to tank, it's going to flop, because when you can't make a movie in 2024 that is better than a movie made back in 1937, you have a real problem, right? And we can lament all we want about, oh, the modern audience, right? We have to modernize this movie, bring it into the modern age. I just said modern an awful lot. But of course, that's the problem. You're not trying to reimagine it, you're trying to change it and twist it from its original form, which is why it's going to fail.
You're just outraged because Disney are trying to make the world a better place and you want to live in 1937.
Nobody at Disney's making the world a better place, man. And I don't know why you keep using the word outrage. No one's outraged about this movie. People are laughing at it because it's a joke. It is a culmination of everything bad about modern movie making. You've got a movie called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs that doesn't have dwarves in it. You've got the fairest of them all, who's put up against Gal Gadot, and somehow Gal Gadot is jealous of Rachel Zegler. And you've got a story about the search for true love that's no longer about true love.
And just to make matters even worse, critical drinker, we then had Rachel Zegler, who'd already been gobbing off left, right, and centre, causing endless problems. She then shared the trailer on social media and added Free Palestine, despite the fact that her co-star Gal Gadot is Israeli. So you can imagine what that's done. That's just poured kerosene all over the place.
Does she even know where Palestine is?
The promotional tour for this movie is going to be wild, man.
Yeah.
When you get them two together.
I mean,
I don't know why she felt the need to do that. It's if there's one thing you want to do, particularly when you're someone like Rachel Zegler, who's already in hot water, just stay away from politics for a little while. Just try and promote your crap movie.
Disney needs to basically hire wranglers, right? You have this new generation of woke actors and actresses, and they're going to go out and spew all of their politics, thus turning off half of your possible audience. So you'd think they'd hire someone to come in and say, you know what? Keep it to yourself. It doesn't matter. Please just go out and promote this movie. Talk about how good it is. Talk about how true to the original it is. Talk about how much fun you had making it instead of Free Palestine. That is what we're facing with all of these millennial Gen Z actors or actresses, whatever they happen to be, all right? They have no clue that other people might actually disagree with them, or they have no clue that people are actually apolitical and just want to turn the world off and relax and enjoy themselves and have a good time. But no, the message must be pushed and you will enjoy it and like it.
The odd thing is actually, Nerdrotic, that Disney have just had a monster hit this summer, haven't they?
Yeah. Two. They've had two. They've had actually a pretty good year.
Yeah.
If you think about it, Planet of the Apes, most with Fox properties, but Planet of the Apes did okay. Alien Romulus is doing pretty good. Inside Out 2 was the biggest movie of the year.
And you know what none of them
Deadpool
did?
And Wolverine is still crushing it.
Right, and none of them went down this stupid road. Right? In other words, when Disney just does what we want Disney to do, which is make great movies. I think Disney's a great company, historically a fantastic company. And it's done some great stuff this summer. Just do what you're good at. You don't need to do this stuff. If you just brought out a movie with Snow White and dwarf actors, everyone would have gone, great.
That's an excellent point. There are so many people who love Disney products, but have turned away from everything because of all the garbage being instilled into it. You're not going to sit down with your kids on a Sunday night and watch a new Disney queer woke show. No, you're going to sit down and watch a classic Disney movie, a classic Disney cartoon. Okay, you're going to stay as far away as possible from the modern garbage they're pushing. And of course, as was mentioned, Disney actually has had some success this year. As you can see over here from IGN, Inside Out 2 was actually the biggest picture of the year. And guess what? They don't have any woke garbage in it. Now, this article was from IGN, and they're actually lamenting the fact that some of this woke stuff was taken out on purpose because Disney really needed a big hit, okay? And down here we can see a lovely little quote that says, outside of the financial strain of it all, sources also paint a picture of a studio that's terrified to rock the boat, with some internally pushing to avoid LGBTQ themes, requiring edits to Inside Out 2. So in other words, they did have some of that garbage in there, but they took it out because they wanted the movie to be a hit. And they know that parents are sick and tired of seeing this stuff exposed to their kids. So if you want to get them out to a theater in droves, what do? You make it a normal, family-friendly film. and that's all you got to do. And if Disney wants to be wildly successful again, all they have to do is turn the ship around and do what you used to do. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.